What is success? When the average person answers this question, they typically mention things that are external markers of success. Things like a certain income, a job title, lots of followers on social media, lots of admirers. And while these things certainly can look impressive and they can definitely diminish some of the things that can lead to unhappiness or failure, research shows that they don't necessarily bring about the deep satisfaction that we're hoping for when we are going out and trying to achieve success. Gallup research tells us a different story about what success is and how to go about getting it. That real success starts from within when you know and use your natural talents. Welcome back. I'm Kelly Stine, a Gallup certified strengths coach and the founder of the Lead and Light Coach. And today I'm going to talk about why understanding and leveraging your natural talents isn't just a nice to have, it's actually essential if you want success, if you want to live a great life, if you want to excel. We're going to explore how embracing what you're naturally great at sets the stage for authentic, true, deep, lasting success beyond the status, the followers, and the money. Now, before we get started, I've created a free guide to help you identify and activate your top 5 talents. You can download it by scanning the code on the screen or clicking the link in the description. Follow along with the guide as you watch, or if you'd like, you could grab it at the end of the video. I think it's fair to say that no matter who you are, you want to be successful and have a great life. It's also fair to say that we all go about going after success or achieving success in different ways, and we all follow different paths. Some of us want to be a successful leader, others want to be a successful creator or a parent or a business owner. Some people just want to excel in their 9-to-5 career. So lots of different ways to go about it. But in almost every way, what the average person does is start off by looking what other people are doing, other people who are successfully doing what it is that they want to be doing, believing that if they're more like them, they have the best shot at achieving their success. So let's look at an example. Imagine you're a 9-to-5 employee and you look around and notice that a lot of your successful colleagues always seem to be well organized and finish all their projects on time. In that case, you might start to think, well, okay, in order to be successful in this place, I need to bump up my organizational skills. Another example, let's say that you're a small business owner, and as you look out in your industry, you notice that a lot of the successful business owners are focusing most of their time on networking and collaborating. So you might think that in order to be successful within your business, you have to be more extroverted and constantly connecting in order to achieve the success that they've created. The problem with this approach is that it's based on flawed reasoning. We all collectively tend to think that if we invest in where we're not measuring up, we're going to achieve success. But decades of research into excellence and talent and success have shown that if you focus this way, if you focus on developing on areas where you're weak, the best that you can ever hope to reach is average. So if you've been ascribing to the idea that by mimicking other successful people, you might be able to close the gap between where you are and that success you're after, you're going about it the wrong way. Trying to mimic someone else's strengths will never get you to world class. Strength-based development is a disruption of that model and that idea. It's also an evidence-based model that's really predicated on the idea that success comes and excellence comes and fulfillment and satisfaction comes when you identify where you are uniquely talented, and then instead of looking for the gaps to fill, you focus on where you excel naturally and you expand out from there. Okay, so now what does this look like if you're working in a 9-to-5? So an employee who's using a strength development model might, instead of looking out at their peers and seeing what talents they're using to succeed, would instead look at their own talents. And in that case, they might discover that one of their top talents is adaptability. Adaptability describes someone who thrives on flexibility, on being present in the moment, on handling challenges as they come. For that person, instead of pushing to become more like their detail-oriented colleagues, they can then lean into that talent. And that might mean that they're looking for roles or projects that require quick problem solving and multitasking, where they can shift priorities on the fly. They could also look to become known as the go to person for crisis management or dynamic projects, contributing value through their flexibility rather than forcing themselves to focus on meticulous planning and being organized. If you're feeling a little bit unsure about identifying your talents or putting them to use at work, my free guide is here to help. Inside, you'll find simple, effective tips to apply your natural talents confidently in your role and in your career decisions. Click the link in the description, or you can just scan the code right here using the camera on your smartphone to grab a copy and start making your talents work for you. For a small business owner, strength-based development might look like, again, instead of looking out and trying to get better at networking and trying to get better at collaborating, they can instead look in at what maybe, let's say, for example, is a talent for ideation. So they're naturally good at coming up with new, copious amounts of fresh creative ideas. So for that person, instead of forcing themselves to network in a more traditional sense, they can lean into their ideation strength to create more unique networking opportunities that align with their talent. So that could look like hosting creative brainstorming meetups or collaborative workshops, and then inviting other business owners, maybe even potential clients to participate in them. This approach can be their way to connect with others where they can share a lot of their creative ideas, which they are just naturally good at generating. Additionally, they can organize and attend innovative, focused type events where they're more likely to meet people who do appreciate a more creative approach and more idea generation. So by designing networking experiences that play to their strengths, this business owner can build relationships in a way that really feels natural and rewarding and easy and comes to them more naturally without so much effort or force. So that instead of trying to be well-rounded, instead of trying to fit the mold, they can embrace their strengths and connect with people in a way that's really true for them. So this style of development really comes in as a disruption to the traditional style of development that almost all of us are familiar with. Traditional development focuses on fixing weaknesses in order to meet external success markers. Strength-based development, however, is about understanding your natural talents and then building those out into strengths, allowing you to make meaningful contributions as the most authentic version of yourself. This might lead you to wonder, well, what about weaknesses? Strength-based development isn't about ignoring weaknesses altogether. It is important to know what they are, but in the cases where you experience a weakness, strength-based development teaches you to manage them. So often this involves collaborating with others whose strengths either balance yours out, so that your weaknesses don't hold you back. You can also use various technologies and tools in order to support you in the areas where you're weak. Okay, so when transitioning from a conventional model of development to a strength-based one, there really are just three simple steps to keep in mind and follow. And this is based off of a framework championed by Gallup called the Name It, Claim It, Aim It model. So step one is to name your top talents. Step two is to claim your talents by reflecting on how they show up uniquely for you and embracing their power and understanding the unique edge that they give you. And then aiming those talents intentionally. So applying them to create results on purpose in your work, in your relationships, and in your daily life. My free guide helps you quickly nail that first step of naming your top 5 talents. Scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to get started. So remember, true success will never come from trying to become someone who you're not. True success comes from becoming more and building up on who you already are. When you understand your talents, you invest in them, you build them into strengths, and you leverage those strengths, you make an impact that is way more far-reaching, way more rewarding, and way more likely to achieve both excellence and success for you and for others. Thank you so much for watching. If this was helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more tips on discovering and developing your strengths. And I'll see you next time.